Hey guys, TommyBryson here, and right now a lot of stocks are on discount, meaning that basically you can buy a stock, but most importantly, there are also a lot of dividend stocks out there that are still paying consistent dividends. Now, if you guys don't know what that is, dividends basically when a stock or a company pays out a percentage of the profits to its shareholders or its investors, and this way you get consistent income from your investments every single quarter or every single 3 months. That is the entire point here. So in this video right here, I'm going to give you guys the top 10 companies that are offering the best dividends along with security to make sure you guys don't get scammed. Okay, now the first thing is this, guys. I do post videos on this channel every single day. Subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I post a new video. And on top of that, also destroy the like button. Now you're probably wondering, Tommy, what did you mean when you said not get scammed? It's like the stock market. It's legal stuff, right? You can't get scammed here. Well, the answer is you can't really get scammed, but companies are pretty smart. So people might say, like, hey, this company is offering like 10% dividends or like a 9% dividends. And you might say, wow, that's pretty high, that's amazing. But then in reality, you come to find out the company just raised the dividends right now to kind of make investors want to invest and kind of want to keep the investors they already have from actually selling. The point is, dividends can be used to actually maintain investors or actually try to attract investors, but that does not guarantee its success. And that's why right now, for example, I found a company, and the company is actually called Tanger Factory Outlet Center. And this company right now is offering a 21.47% dividend. Now, before you go and rush over there and try to buy it, the answer is, well, this company has been in decline since 2016. So will it make it past the pandemic? The answer is, I don't know. But the point I'm making is just don't look at the dividends and equate that to a good investment. It's a terrible idea and you will get scammed legally by doing that, okay? Now, without further ado, guys, here is the top 10 dividend stocks that I found in the market, and I wanted to make sure for this list, basically, I found solid companies in solid industries with a solid track record of paying dividends, because sometimes some companies pay out like, oh my gosh, so much money, but then you find out that every now and then for the past few years, they actually skip some dividend payments. So you want to make sure you have consistency, or else kind of like having a bad credit score and going to the bank trying to get a loan and be like, hey, no, you're not going to get a loan because you don't really pay on time all the time, okay? That is the point here. Now, the first company is actually Walmart, and right now Walmart is trading at $126 and its dividend payout is 1.76%. Tommy, that seems to be pretty low. I can make that money by just having my money basically in a savings account. So the answer is yes, kinda. Yeah, I get it. However, Walmart, as you guys know, is one of the leaders in the industry and is also making a huge move into the online industry, also offering some competition to Target and also Amazon. And the idea is they've been around since 1972, and on top of that, their company shares keep growing and growing and growing and growing. So on top of actually getting some dividends, you're also going to experience some growth when it comes to your investments. And if you ask me, that's pretty cool. And that's why when I was 19 years old, Walmart was one of the first companies I invested into, and that was like around like 3 years ago. And I bought at $70 or $50, and now Walmart is at $126. But remember though, guys, okay? Because of everything that is going on right now, some company stocks have actually been inflated up in value, and Walmart is one of those. So I'm not telling you to go ahead and buy these companies right now, but I'm telling you to keep an eye on them, and if any of them at any point may kind of like stumbles a little bit, might be a good time to buy, okay? And now number 2 is actually Target, which is a direct competitor to actually Walmart and in some ways also to Amazon, although their online presence is not really as cool as Amazon if you ask me, and they don't really make movies like Amazon, so that's just not even comparing to Amazon like that much. But when it comes to the retail industry, they're a pretty solid company, and their stock is trading at right now at around $112, and their dividend yield is 2.44%, almost double of what Walmart offers, and it's also a more decent price. Now, so you guys don't know this, okay? Most of you guys don't know this, but Target is one of the leaders when it comes to collecting information and data on their customers. Now, this might seem scary to you as a customer, but from an investor point of view, you want to hear this because basically you know for a fact that Target knows how to target people to come to their stores and basically buy. And if you guys don't believe me, Target has been involved in lawsuits in the past about collecting way too much data. And at one point, they basically sent a letter to a girl before she knew she was pregnant just based on her shopping patterns, okay? It's crazy how good they are at data managing over at Target. And on top of that, guys, they also have around 368,000 employees, which is always a good sign when it comes to like, hey, if the if the company is gonna go bankrupt, do you think the entire government is going to allow it? Okay, you know, you never know. But when it comes to employment and having this many people, it does give you some leverage, okay? And now, guys, number 3 is actually AT&T, and they're trading at right now at $30, and their dividend yield is around 6.96, which is pretty high, and they have been known for having a very solid dividend for a very long time. However, when you ask me, by the way, guys, okay, all I'm telling you is the stock price, the dividend yield, and a brief history on what I think about the stock. So make sure before you try to invest into these companies, you go out there and you study the financials and make sure that the structure of the company is solid, okay? So don't just go invest because of the dividend yield and the price. Just make sure everything makes sense also from the financial point of view. But again, back to AT&T, guys, okay? Although AT&T has been known to be a very solid dividend stock for a very, very, very long time, when it comes to the industry itself and what it offers, I honestly don't even really like AT&T, okay? However, the main idea is this, guys. Do you think that a company like this will fail? The answer is, well, as you guys know, there is something called monopoly rules in the United States, right? Which basically means there are no monopolies allowed in the US. So if you have, for example, T-Mobile, Verizon, and on top of that you have, for example, AT&T, there is no way that AT&T can actually fail in a sense, I'm not guaranteeing anything, in a sense, because again, if that does happen, then T-Mobile, you guys know T-Mobile bought out Sprint, right? So basically, that could create an entire monopoly with T-Mobile, which could cause T-Mobile to actually be broken up into pieces. So it's kind of like, you know, kind of like looking at it a little bit more deeper. And the company is still pretty solid in a sense. I just, honestly, I don't like the prices. I don't like the customer service. So just from my point of view, I wouldn't invest into the company. But if you were looking to invest into this company for a very, very long time and you only care about the dividends and this history, well, you could be looking at a great stock. But just based on competition, stuff like that, I don't really like the stock whatsoever. I'm just being honest. Now, number 4 is JP Morgan, okay? And JP Morgan is trading at right now at $93.80, and his dividend yield is 3.86%, which is very good and very solid if you ask me. Not like that high, but it's not really that low either. And if you guys don't know much about Chase, well, Chase is one of the biggest, not one of the biggest, the biggest bank in America, okay? And if you ask me, it's been around since the 80s. Now, Tommy, why is this important? Well, since the 80s to now, and we all saw in history what happened when banks were about to fail in 2008 and the Fed came to the rescue because it would have basically crumbled the entire US economy in a sense. So when something is, in a sense, too big to fail, you always want to take a look at it because basically it shows you like if you invest your money into this company over a long period of time, it will stay around. And on top of that, not just that, but Chase has been implementing a lot of new things to their company. For example, they implemented an investment portion to their entire app. On top of that, budgeting portions. And on top of that, they have one of the best offers when it comes to mortgages and loans and car loans. So the company is pretty solid and it's kind of like cemented, okay? And if there's really any real competition out there with this much money that Chase has, at any point they could just throw money at the problem and basically just buy it out in a sense, okay? So it's actually a pretty solid company if you ask me. Now, number 5 is Microsoft. Now, Microsoft right now is trading at $182.11, and its dividend yield is 1.17%. Tommy, that is very, very expensive. And I know some of these are very expensive, guys, and that's what I recommend. You basically get the Cash App, or for example, even M1 Finance. And this way, if you want to, you can grab all 10 of them and create one portfolio and just buy fractional shares of all of them. And this way, you don't need this much money to actually start investing, okay? Because at this point, the only cheap one here is AT&T at $30, but one $82 is very expensive for like the average person, and even for me, okay? Like, that's a lot of money. Buying 10 shares is already over $1,000. Buying 100 shares is over $10,000. So I completely get that. However, when it comes to Microsoft, guys, they have contracts with the US Department of Defense. On top of that, most of the computers out there, they're not Mac. Well, they contain Windows inside of it, and they basically have a very strong hold on the software industry. And although Microsoft sucks at making, for example, cell phones, they're really good with what they do and their software company. And they've been around since 1986, before I was born, and probably before you were born also. Maybe. Comment down below, let me know. But the answer is, it's a solid company, been around for a very long time, and it still has a lot of great momentum in its industry, which is always a very good sign. Now, number 6 is actually Johnson & Johnson. And you might be wondering, Tommy, Johnson & Johnson, like the powder commercials, like back in the days, like, yeah, kinda. And right now, they're trading for around $149, and you can basically get around 2.72% on your entire dividends. Now, this company right here, guys, have you ever heard about, for example, Listerine? You have. Neutrogena, the thing for like the face and stuff like that, and also Motrin for like headaches. This company owns all of those brands and a lot more, okay? So a lot of the brands you think like, oh my gosh, like who owns that company right there? Well, here you go. Johnson & Johnson owns those companies also. But I do have to be 100% transparent. Although this company is in a way recession proof because of what they do here, they also have a lot of pending lawsuits when it comes to some of their products, causing a lot of illnesses, even lawsuits for opioids and also cancer. Okay, I just want to be honest, so before you try to invest in this company, just make sure you understand exactly what you're getting yourself into. But it has been around for a very long time, and they also have around 132,000 employees, which is also a pretty good sign. But again, a lot of pending lawsuits, okay? And now, guys, number 7 is actually Procter Gamble, and right now their dividend yield is around 2.71%. Now, Tommy, why is this company so cool? The answer is very simple, guys, okay? If you ever heard about Tide, Downy, Bounty, or for example, Oral-B, this company owns all of those brands. And if you guys know anything about those brands, is that they're basically recession proof. Why? Because even like throughout the pandemic right now, or recession or banking crisis, well, people still need to brush their teeth and do their laundry and do all of those other things, mundane things, but things that are necessary, and those products are still selling right off the shelf no matter what, okay? And that's why most of the time this company is considered like a recession-proof company, but most importantly, it's a solid company that's been around for a very long time and will probably continue to be around for a very long time, because I predict, because I predict in the next 20 to 40 years, people will still need toothpaste, they will still need all of these things right here, okay? And if they keep innovating, then they'll still be around for a very long time. And now, guys, number 8 is Realty Income Corporation. Now, this company right here is trading for around $52, and this dividend yield is around 5.40%, which is actually very good. Now, it's pretty high, right? Pretty awesome. But the idea is, okay, this company is basically like a real estate company that basically buys real estate and then leases it out to companies, for example, like Walgreens, Taco Bell, and CVS and other pharmacies. But the entire idea is this, guys, okay? But although this company right here has over 6,500 commercial units, they're all occupied around like 98.5% of them, and they also spread them around like 59 different industries. Although it's pretty solid, if you believe that the retail industry basically, or like brick and mortar, will not last for a very long time, it might actually not be a good investment for you. But if you believe for the next like 40 to 50 years, you will still be seeing, for example, a lot of commercial places where you actually go to and you shop there, Walgreens, Taco Bell, like all these places right here, well, you can still invest into them. Because although I don't know about like going to a supermarket, I still think, for example, a lot of the industries that this company actually has will still be around for the next like 40 to 50 years. But again, it could change, and everything could go 100% online, which then this company will have to make a huge adjustment in their business model. Just putting that out there. And now, guys, number 9 is Verizon, a company that has been around since 1983. A pretty long time if you ask me. And right now they're trading for around $56.81, and they pay you in dividends 4.33% of your money every single year, which is pretty solid. And on top of that, the company has around 136,000 employees. A lot of employees, right? But you know, from personal experience, guys, okay, because I have Verizon in my home and I see exactly how they deal with people. it's a very good company, okay? However, before you go and invest in it because it's a good company, just make sure the financials also make sense, because Verizon, to me, is pretty solid. I'm actually looking at the company right now to invest into, but I'm still not all the way there because I'm still doing research, okay? Now, lastly, number 10 is Apple. Apple, right now, as I make this video right here, is trading for over $300 and is paying basically 1.13% in dividends. One of the lowest ones in this entire video right here, but in reality, it's one of the biggest companies of this list right here also. So although Apple does make, for example, $700 wheels and sells them to people like legitly, well, the answer is it is still a pretty solid company, and that's why I have basically an iPhone, and that's why this logo of Apple is recognized worldwide. So guys, to be honest with you, out of all of these right here, look at the ones that most interest you in different industries, and this way, if one industry goes down, you're still leveraged on the other industry. For example, Procter Gamble, pretty solid company, and also Johnson & Johnson, although they do have a lot of pending lawsuits. But overall, guys, comment down below and let me know, what are you going to do? And don't forget, if you want, you can use M1 Finance and build an entire portfolio with all 10 of them and just put money into it without having to buy an entire full share of each company. And I'm going to put a link down below for M1 Finance, and that way you guys know exactly how to sign up and also how it works. And as always, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video right here, well, like this video, destroy the like button. And on top of that, also subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. And also follow me on Instagram, TommyBryson. And I also have a new channel, link down below. Check it out. It's called The Tommy Bryson Show. I post there every single day also. And if you guys want to watch another video on how I invest exactly, here it is right here. Also, my face right here. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. And as always, peace.